My name is Layla Brennan. I'm 27 years old. When I was 20, my parents stood in front of 300 people at my sister's college graduation and said into a microphone, "We should have stopped after her. Our second child is useless." The room laughed. My sister laughed. I didn't. I walked out of that auditorium and I never spoke to them again. Not for holidays, not for birthdays, not for 7 years. Then 3 months ago, my phone lit up with a number I didn't recognize. The text said, "Come home, your sister has." They didn't finish the sentence. They didn't have to. They didn't know that I'd spent those 7 years building a life they couldn't touch. And they definitely didn't know that when their perfect daughter fell apart, I'd be the only one strong enough to catch her. Let me take you back. The Brennan family, Newton, Massachusetts. White colonial, black shutters, a lawn so perfect it looked fake. My father, an accountant. My mother, an elementary school principal. 2 daughters. From the outside, we were flawless. From the inside, we were a hierarchy. My sister Sophia was born in 1996. I was born in 1998. 2 years apart, a lifetime of difference. Sophia made Dean's List every semester. I kept a 3.4 GPA while working 2 jobs. Sophia was student body vice president. I was the girl who showed up to class and went home. Sophia got a merit scholarship. I got loans and a rejection letter. But the worst part wasn't the achievements. It was the dinner table. Every night, same seats. Sophia to my father's right, the place of honor. Me at the end, closest to the kitchen. Close enough to be useful. Far enough to be forgotten. I counted the number of times they said, "Why can't you be more like your sister?" 47 times between freshman year of high school and graduation. I kept a journal. I wrote it down every single time. I needed proof because some part of me kept wondering if I was imagining it. I wasn't. May 18th, 2018. Sophia's graduation day. I bought a navy dress from Target, $32. I did my own hair. No one asked if I needed help. Downstairs, my mother was adjusting Sophia's cap, fussing over her white dress. "You look perfect," she said. Absolutely perfect. I stood in the doorway, dressed and ready. No one looked at me. At the arena, my father handed me a ticket to row M, 12 rows behind the family. He didn't wait for an answer. I watched them take photos with Sophia. I watched them laugh with other parents. I watched them never look back. Not once. Then came the parent tributes. 5 families chosen to come on stage and say something about their graduating child. My parents walked up those steps like they'd rehearsed it. My father leaned into the microphone. "Sophia has always been extraordinary," he said. "From the day she was born, we knew she was special." He paused, looked at my mother, and grinned. "Honestly, we should have stopped after her." A few people chuckled. Then he leaned closer. "Our second child? Useless." The room roared. 300 people laughing, slapping their knees, wiping tears from their eyes. My mother leaned into the mic, smiling. "Well, at least one of them makes us proud." Sophia stood on stage in her cap and gown, laughing. I sat in row M, hands gripping the armrest, so hard my knuckles turned white. The applause lasted 8 seconds. It felt like 8 hours. I walked to the parking lot. That's when my mother caught up to me. Breathless, annoyed, not apologetic. "You're being dramatic," she said. It was a joke. My father checked his watch. "We have reservations at 3. Are you coming or not?" Like nothing had happened. Like I was the problem. I looked at Sophia, waiting for one word. One acknowledgement that what they'd said was cruel. She touched my arm. "Dad's jokes are a lot, but you know how they are." They didn't mean it. That's when I knew she wasn't going to defend me. She never had. I was alone. I'd always been alone. I drove back to my dorm, sat on my bed, and cried for 3 hours. That night, I blocked them all. My mother, my father, Sophia, aunts, uncles, cousins who'd sat in that arena and laughed. I kept one contact. My cousin Mara. She was the only person who texted to ask if I was okay. Then I made a promise. I would never need them again. I built a life from scratch with $800 and 2 weeks left in my dorm room. 3 jobs, a resident assistant position that gave me free housing, and a research lab job that gave me a future. Some nights I worked until my hands shook. Some mornings I skipped meals because I had to choose between food and a textbook. I wore the same 5 outfits on rotation for 2 years and told myself it was discipline, not poverty. Holidays were the hardest. Every Thanksgiving, every Christmas, I stayed on campus or picked up extra shifts. My coworkers would ask what I was doing for the holidays, and I'd say, keeping busy. What I meant was surviving. I graduated in 2020, virtually, alone in my bedroom. The dean called my name. I clapped for myself once, twice, and then stopped. 0 texts from my family. They didn't know I'd graduated. I never told them, and they never asked. But for the first time in my life, I was proud of myself. And that had to be enough. By February 2025, my life looked like this: stable job as a clinical research coordinator at a major hospital, a 1-bedroom apartment in Cambridge, real friends, therapy every other week. I was okay. Better than okay. Then my phone buzzed. February 11th, 9:47 p.m., an unknown number. My mother's voice, shaky and older. "It's about Sophia. She's not well. She won't leave her apartment. We found things, pills, needles." I laughed, sharp and bitter. Why would she listen to me? You made sure she knew I was useless. My mother hadn't apologized. Not once during that call. Not for the graduation. Not for anything. I hung up. But I didn't sleep. 2 days later, I called back. "Tell me everything," I said. "And don't lie." The story came out slowly. A car accident in 2022, a herniated disc, a prescription for oxycodone. And then the prescription ran out, but the pain didn't. Or she said it didn't. She started doctor shopping, then lost her job in December. When I arrived at their house that Saturday, February 16th, it looked exactly the same. White colonial, black shutters, perfect lawn. A museum, frozen in time. 12 photos on the mantel. All of Sophia. 0 of me. They had erased me completely. I went upstairs alone. Knocked 3 times. "Go away. Sophia, it's me. Wayla." Silence. Then footsteps. The door opened on a chain. One eye appeared in the gap. Bloodshot. Dark circles like bruises. Inside, curtains drawn, takeout containers on the floor, empty pill bottles on the nightstand. And Sophia, barely 100 pounds, gray hoodie, hollow eyes. She was a ghost of the girl I remembered. The girl who used to steal my sweaters and correct my grammar at the dinner table. The girl I used to love before the distance between us became something neither of us knew how to cross. I sat on the floor. She sat too. "I never wanted you to see me like this," she whispered. "Like what? Like a failure. Everything they said you were. I'm the useless one now. You're not useless." She laughed bitterly. "I let them say it. I stood there at graduation and I laughed when they destroyed you. And I never said sorry. Not once in 7 years. I'm sorry, Layla. I'm so sorry." Then she showed me an email draft from September 2023. Subject: I need help. "I know you hate me. I know I don't deserve this. But I don't know who else to ask. I'm not okay. Please, if you get this, just tell me I'm not alone." I asked her what address she'd sent it to. She showed me. It was wrong. 1 character off. I checked when the contact was last modified. June 2023. Neither of us had touched it. We stared at each other. Our parents had changed it. They had kept us apart even when Sophia was drowning, even when she begged for help. I walked downstairs, and I said what needed to be said. They had broken both of us, just in different ways. Then I told them exactly what was going to happen. I would find a treatment center. They would pay for it. Every cent. They would not choose the facility. They would not interfere. and they would not be involved unless Sophia asked. I spent 3 days researching. I chose a residential program in the Berkshires. 90 days, evidence-based medical detox with individual and group therapy. I called the intake coordinator and booked the last available bed. February 22nd, I drove Sophia there myself. 2 hours through winter highways, mostly silence. At one point she asked, "Do you hate me?" I fought for a long time. "I did," I said, "but not anymore. We were both their victims. You just had a different cage than I did. Mine was neglect. Yours was pressure. Both of us were suffocating." She cried quietly. I let her. When we arrived, I stayed for 2 hours. Intake paperwork, medical history, a warm handshake from the coordinator. When it was time to leave, I hugged Sophia for the first time in 7 years. Awkward but real. "You've got this," I said. She walked inside, looked back once. I waved. She waved back. The door closed. I sat in my car and cried. Not because I was sad, because I had done something I never thought I could do. I had helped the person who hurt me, and it didn't break me. It made me stronger. Sophia completed the program in May 2025. When I picked her up, she looked different, healthier. Eyes clear, color back in her cheeks. She gained 12 pounds. She hugged me tight. "Thank you for not giving up on me." I didn't say "you're welcome." I said, "You did this. I just showed up." Because that was the truth. Sophia is now 10 months sober. She's enrolled in community college, studying psychology. She's stable. She's hopeful. We have lunch once a month. We talk slowly, carefully, like two people learning a language they were never taught. It isn't easy. Some conversations still feel like walking on glass. But we keep showing up for each other, and that is more than we ever had growing up. Our parents sent a Christmas card. I didn't open it. They sent a birthday card, also unopened. And I'm at peace with that. People ask if I regret going back. The answer is no. Because I didn't go back for them. I went back for Sophia. And in helping her, I proved something to myself. I could walk into that house, face those people, and not fall apart. I had healed, really healed. Here's what I know now. Healing doesn't mean reconciliation. Boundaries aren't cruelty. They're survival. I helped Sophia because she was a victim too, just like me. But I don't know my parents anything. Maybe I never will. And that's okay. If you've ever been the forgotten one, the one who had to prove your worth to people who should have seen it from the start, know this. You are not what they said you were. You never were. My name is Layla Brennan. I'm 27 years old. And I am not useless. I never was.